Good afternoon. It is now 12:30 on your Monday. I'm Julie Broughton. This is Take Six. We're so happy you decided to spend a little bit of time with us today on your Monday. Now, we have a lot coming up for you over the next 20 minutes or so. If you are a fan of Florida Foodie, then you may already know that every other Tuesday, a new episode of Florida Foodie drops. Lisa Bell will be here to talk about tomorrow's episode that is coming out. She talks to Michelin star chef Mike Calantes. He has a fabulous story that you will want to hear about his humble beginnings, and now he is involved with multiple restaurants across Central Florida. So Lisa will have much more on that. And of course, we are also watching the weather very closely for you. We are still in the peak of hurricane season and the tropics are active. We'll show you what we are watching in the tropics and talk about any possible impacts we could see in Central Florida. But before we get to all of that, we want to bring in our friend News 6 investigator Eric Sandoval. And Eric, you've been working on a story for us tomorrow about a new state law that takes effect tomorrow that bans what's called public camping.
Yeah, and that's a broad generic term, isn't it? What is public camping? How long do you have to be camping on a public sidewalk in order to be cited or arrested for that? There's a lot of questions that still need to be answered about that law, Julie, and we're going to be tracking that as the days progress. But, our story tonight really focuses on something ahead of that. This started really organically. The homeless population in downtown Orlando, one of the places that they get services from is called the Christian Service Center in the Paramore area. And just about last October, it was almost a year ago, they started coming to the executive director, Eric Gray, there, and they said, I was arrested today, or I was arrested last week. So was my buddy. So was my other buddy. Why are we being arrested all of a sudden? And Eric Gray said, that's interesting. So he brought that to one of their board members, who is also a UCF professor who specializes in research. And he started pulling arrest reports to see if there was a trend here. And this is part of what he found. Let's take a look at our story that aired this morning here on News 6.
We started off with October 2019. There's about maybe 3 to 5 citations per day.
Dr. Andrew Sullivan with UCF School of Public Administration says he focused on the reports of every homeless person arrested for an Orlando City ordinance violation over the past 6 years.
So what did you find? Yeah, and so we found that starting in about last fall, there was a big increase in citations of people overall, but especially people experiencing homelessness.
When he compared October of 2022 to the same month a year later, Sullivan found the number of panhandling violations went up 200%. Violations for urinating in public went up 175%. And public camping, or sleeping on public property in Orlando, went up 375%. So what's happening here? We went to Orlando Police Headquarters to ask Chief Eric Smith to get some answers.
We're not out there to arrest people. We're out there actually to give services, give helps to people.
Smith says OPD's numbers don't stack up with the UCF professors. He says the department's new homeless intervention unit has made contact with a little more than 18,000 people this year so far. Out of that, they've made about 320 arrests. That amounts to 1.78%.
Sometimes you get people, like anybody in life, having a bad day. Those are the people we end up having to arrest. Hey, you got to leave this person's property. Not happening. No, come on, buddy, let's leave this guy's property. Nope. Okay, that's the only option we have.
In Orlando, Eric Sandoval, Getting Results, News 6. And here's the thing, I had originally reached out to Orlando Police for a comment on this professor's research just to see what they had to say about it. They insisted that Chief Eric Smith wanted to go on camera with us about this to address this head on. So this is something he feels passionate about. This is something that he feels that his officers in the Homeless Intervention Unit are doing a great job with. And, I did ask him about the new law that takes effect tomorrow. What is OPD going to do differently now, or are they going to do anything differently? And he really didn't know the answer. He said that the attorneys for the city and the attorneys for OPD are still looking at the wording of that law to figure out what exactly it means. And sadly, that's what a lot of cities are telling us right now, that the law is so vaguely worded, they really don't know how to move forward with it.
Well, and you were talking about how this story came about, how you hearing from, someone homeless saying, "Hey, we're getting arrested. Why are we getting arrested?" And you just think
Hmm.
about the far-reaching impacts that this has on these individuals as they're arrested just for not having a home. And it's just,
Right.
there's just so many layers to this.
And at surface, Julie, that's what that new law says needs to happen. The public camping law that goes into effect tomorrow says if you are caught on public property sleeping, that is an offense and you need to be dealt with. Now, whether that means, writing a citation, whether that means bringing you to jail, it is left up to the interpretation. Now, another caveat of that same law requires some municipalities, whether they're counties or whether they're cities, to solve the problem themselves, basically create their own area of town where the homeless can sleep in a public setting legally. And we had actually gone to Tampa earlier this year and spotlighted Tampa Hope. And the city of Tampa has basically partnered with the Diocese of Pinellas County in creating this land in downtown Tampa where it's tents and it's cottages. And it's not just, a band-aid for the problem. This is really a place where the homeless can sleep in a tent, but they're also placed in a program which will eventually graduate them to affordable housing, to jobs, and really get them back into the system and back on their feet. So it's a step up instead of just a band-aid. So I I hope a lot of the municipalities who are being ordered to do this, to find those public areas of land for the homeless, are looking at long-term solutions rather than, hey, let's just put them on a plot of land over
Right.
here.
Right. And I know you have an extended version of the story coming up at 6. Can we expect with that?
We go a little bit more in depth with the chief. And, we push him a little bit on what that homeless intervention unit is doing. And we also see how the professor's work in compiling this research is not done. Actually, it really ramps up tomorrow when this new law takes effect. He wants to see the effect of this new law on police actions. And he's going to do that, he says, in pulling arrest reports.
All right, Eric Sandoval, thank you so much. We're looking forward to the rest of your story coming up tonight at 6.
All right. We'll see you then, Julie. Thank you.
All right. We are going to take a short break, and when we come back, that's when we'll catch up with News 6 anchor Lisa Bell. She has the latest on the newest episode of Florida Foodie that will drop for us tomorrow. So if you are a fan of food, which, hey, aren't all of us, you'll want to stick around and catch that. And we will also catch you up with what's going on with our forecast for this week. And everybody's talking about what potentially could develop in the tropics. We will have the very latest for you on that. Stick with us. We're back in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I have the mics off right now.
It is 1240. Thank you so much for sticking around with us. This is Take Six. I'm Julie Broughton, and fans of Florida Foodie know every other Tuesday you get a fresh new episode of your favorite food podcast. So News 6 anchor Lisa Bell is here to talk about that. Lisa, you were in Brighton early this morning working on the newest episode, so you have a lot of exciting things to share with us. You were joined by Michelin star chef Mike Calentes. Calentes.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yes. You know, we are spoiled rotten in Central Florida.
are.
If you are a foodie fan, this is the place to be. So we invited Chef Mike Calentes back to Florida Foodie. We actually first spoke with him during the pandemic, and that was via Zoom. And I am so thankful that we no longer have to do that, and we can have people coming into the studio now. But this man is amazing. He is from Winter Park and started out with very humble beginnings, and now he is opening up so many restaurants here in Central Florida, even as far away as Dubai. But before we get to that, let's listen to how he got his start. So let's take us back to the beginning. You're from Winter Park.
Yeah,
Got your start in the culinary world at the Fashion Square Mall.
absolutely.
Tell me
You
about
know,
that.
humble beginnings. You got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So, I went to Winter Park High School, Glen Ridge, when my folks moved here from New York, and yeah, we are Sabaro's Pizzeria.
That's where you got started.
I was 16, okay, so it was not like it was like a couple years ago, but I was 16. It was like my first spot, and
What did you do there?
everything. I was just like, I just want to make a little bit of money, get a cell phone, go have gas in the car, and then one restaurant job landed another one into another one. But it was time for college. I said, yeah, let me pursue this, and I went for it. Yeah,
And so he went to culinary school.
went to culinary school here at Valencia. So shout out to Valencia for being my alma mater. Went to Valencia, and then I started working for Wolfgang Puck over in downtown Disney when I was over there, and ended up leaving them after 4 years being their head sushi chef, which is a terrible idea to be I think I was 21, 22 to start running a multi-million-dollar sushi operation in Disney. I don't know why they gave it to me, but I took it, and
Yeah. Well, clearly they saw something in you and knew that there was going to be great success ahead.
yeah, definitely.
Isn't it amazing, though? I mean, having the opportunities at your fingertips here in Central Florida, kids from, say, like Ohio or Nebraska don't have like the opportunities that people have here to be able to work for some of those people.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's we always come up with the excuse. Even me, it's I need to move to a bigger state. I need to go to Los Angeles or New York when I was growing, and or go to France overseas. So I think there's always that kind of syndrome of just if I can do more if I was somewhere else. But you work with what you have, and Orlando has been a great foundation, a great place. I mean, to find to cultivate great talent now, it's just amazing.
Talk about impressive, Julie. So since then, since those humble beginnings at Sabaro's Pizza at Fashion Square Mall, he just won a Michelin star for his restaurant Soseki in Winter Park. He has also opened, he won a Bib Gourmand for Sushi Saint, another sushi restaurant. He's got so many things cooking right now. If you want to say, he's got a place called Bar Cada, which is a speakeasy sake bar that is set to open in Winter Park, or he has opened that. And then he's also planning to open two new concepts in the Yard Food Hall, French restaurant called Chez Les Copains. I think I'm saying that correctly.
Nice. Excellent work.
And then the return of Taglish Filipino, which was his original restaurant here in Central Florida. He's also going to open back up Perla's Pizza, which is going to be reimagined as a cocktail pizza bar in Winter Park. And he's getting ready to open a restaurant in Dubai. So much going on, right? In just a matter of a couple of years, all of that is happening.
I love
And,
that oh, go ahead.
Well, that's despite all of the challenges that so many restaurant owners, operators, chefs are facing in this economy. He has found such huge success, and he says winning those Michelin awards really helped. And he has people who come here from all over the world, and chances are they're at Disney or Universal, one of the theme parks, but they seek out his restaurant because they specifically want to eat at a award-winning place.
And I love that he mentions that he graduated from Valencia. I've done Getting Results in Our School story on the Valencia culinary program, and it's incredible. And you hear the success stories, and I didn't even realize that he was one of those success stories. But that's another incredible program. And when we do that program, when we've done stories with them, they talk about the same thing you mentioned, like, hey, we have so many opportunities here for people interested in the culinary arts to work with these great chefs and these world-class restaurants and world-class resorts. So cool that he's a Winter Park grad and a Valencia grad.
Those resume building experiences to work with
Yes.
someone like Wolfgang Puck, to manage a place at Walt Disney World. I mean, automatically that opens so many doors. But, of course, he's unbelievably talented. In addition to opening all of those restaurants, he also has 2 little kids. I'm like, how do you
Oh.
juggle it all? I know, right? Isn't that a lot?
Yes, it
But
is.
he is doing it all. And that little sake bar sounds pretty interesting in Winter Park, too.
Is that going to be on Park Avenue? I was driving
I'm
down
not
Park.
sure exactly where it's going to be.
Okay, because I was driving down Park Avenue yesterday. Thomas, do you know? Is it going to be on Park Avenue?
Barcade. It's actually, he actually just
Fairbanks.
opened
He says
it.
it's going to be on Fairbanks. Okay.
Fairbanks. Okay.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
So
I'm
close enough.
always up for a good speakeasy. So
Yeah, that adds a little bit of excitement to your day.
it does. Some
So,
intrigue. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I love it, Lisa. Anything else? What else do you have for us?
That's going to be coming out tomorrow. Every Tuesday, we release a new episode of Florida Foodie, so you can expect to see that tomorrow. Of course, our Florida Foodie newsletter has that included, and all sorts of happenings in Central Florida. So be sure to look for that. You can sign up for that. It's all free, of course. And I love this because it's a great opportunity to discover new places. Of course, we love our favorite restaurants, but this is a chance to try something new, something a little different, something you didn't know about. So it's fun. And he's got a lot of them. And I love that he's moving into the Yard, which is in the
Yes.
Ivanhoe Village area, because that place has faced a lot of struggles. But 2 completely different concepts, his Filipino Taglish,
Yes.
concept, in addition to a French restaurant. So
Yes, I love it.
exciting stuff. Yeah.
It is. So that comes out tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, Lisa Bell, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
All right, as promised, it is time to get a check of your forecast. I know a lot of us are a little on edge regarding the tropics since we just went through Helene, which is still just causing major issues for folks in parts of the Carolinas. So we're keeping a close eye on the tropics. Again, nothing immediately for us to be concerned about. Here's a broad view for you. Isaac is now post-tropical. Joyce is not going to be a concern for us. Kirk, now a tropical storm, also not going to be a concern for us. We are watching a wave that will come off the coast of Africa behind Kirk, so we could be looking at some more development there. But of course, we are all drawn to what is happening in the Caribbean, where we are looking at a 40% chance of further development with that area highlighted in orange as we move through the next 7 days. Now, a lot of people are very uneasy about this because this is the same area where Helene developed. However, what we're looking at, some of the models have slowed it down. So we're looking at development likely around this time next week as it moves into the Gulf of Mexico. Some of the models do want to carry it over into Florida. Some of them take it farther west. Bottom line, it is just too early for us to tell the impacts that we will have. But there is a lot of tropical moisture coming out of the Caribbean and out of the Gulf, and that will bump our rain chances up as we head through the next several days. But we are watching those models, each model run, and we will continue to keep you updated. So just make sure you keep checking back with us. Nothing to panic about, but certainly something that we all need to be mindful about. Here's what it looks like right for you right now on our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Together camera. Lots of blue sky, 88 degrees, but already it is feeling like the low 100s, and that will be the case for us throughout the day today. 86 degrees right now in Sanford. If you're in the Villages, you're at 88. 86 in Ocala, 89 in Melbourne and Cocoa Beach, and 87 in Daytona Beach. I just wanted to show you the shot because it's so pretty. This is our Launch Credit Union camera out at Port Canaveral right now. So much sunshine, sitting at 87 degrees right now at the port. Factor in the relative humidity, though, when you step outside, this is how it feels. Feels like 102 right now in New Smyrna Beach. Feeling like 100 if you're in Leesburg, Orlando, Kissimmee, Cocoa Beach, or Melbourne. And if you're in Ocala, it feels like 95 degrees right now. Here's a look at the radar scanning out for us. Rain chances today are around 30 to 40% already. We're seeing some pockets of heavier rain developing west of I-75 in Marion County. All the showers today will push off toward the east. Here's how that looks on your clouds and rain forecast. We stop the clock at 2 o'clock. Again, some spotty showers through areas like Marion County. Moving into the late afternoon hours, still fairly isolated. We could see some heavier rain in extreme northern Brevard County, also up through Flagler County. Then into the evening, we'll still keep some showers around as we head through the evening hours. Could see some showers across areas like Osceola County. Notice overnight those clouds begin to increase for us. A little weak front drops into our area tomorrow. That helps to bump our chance of rain up. Here's how that looks for you for the next 7 days. 93 for our high today, so we'll be getting close to record territory. The record in Orlando is 96. 92 for your high tomorrow. Rain chances go up to 60%. That's where we leave the chance of rain heading into the weekend, with afternoon highs hovering around 90. A little bit cooler this weekend. 86 on Saturday, 85 on Sunday. Overnight lows stay in the mid to upper 70s. And again, if we were to deal with anything in the tropics, it wouldn't be until around this time next week. But again, too early to tell with that exactly, but we are watching it closely and will continue to keep you up to date both on air and online. So make sure you keep checking in with us. We will see you on News 6 at 4 today. If you have any questions or comments for us at Take 6, head to clickorlando.com/take6. Let us know what's on your mind. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you at 4.